Good evening, I'm Blaine Bestel.
And I'm Joey Peterson, and here's tonight's top stories.
A near tragedy yesterday as a 13-year-old boy was caught in a severe thunderstorm last night while taking a late-night swim in Stewart Lake. The boy almost drowned amidst the storm. Nate is there now with the details. Nate?
Yes, Blaine, it all started in a matter of seconds here last night as a boy was stuck in the lake during that thunderstorm. His name is Ralph Longwood, a 14-year-old from nearby Blue Mountains, out for an afternoon swim when the storm came on him strong and violently. I talked to a few gentlemen before, and they actually said that they'd never seen a storm come up so quickly in all their lives. What's really miraculous about this story, Blaine, is how he was saved from an almost certain drowning. This man here is Leroy Merlin, an Eagle Scout and lifeguard who happened to be driving past at just the right moment and saw Ralph in the water. He actually leapt over this fence here and was able to pull him over to that rock. Ralph is now recovering at home and will be all right. I have a few questions for Leroy here. Leroy, what was going through your head at that moment?
Well, Nate, I just stayed calm and got the job done. I didn't really think about it, and I could have gotten hurt, but that's the risk I was willing to take.
Wow. How long have you been a lifeguard, Leroy?
Well, I went through my training about 2 years ago, and I've been a lifeguard ever since.
Well, we're all really lucky that you were here at that time. Thank you, Leroy. What an amazing rescue story in Mount Horeb. The whole town will be amazed about this for a long time to come. This is sure to go down in Mount Horeb history, and I can't imagine how grateful Ralph's family must feel right now. They're actually talking about having a party this weekend with friends and neighbors to celebrate this event. Just remember to stay safe while playing outdoors and always be prepared for the worst. That's all for here. Back to you, Blaine.
On Monday night, May 6, 2013, the Mount Horeb Police Department, in conjunction with the Dane County Narcotics and Gang Task Force, filed for and executed a search warrant on the home in the 300 block of Lake Street. When invading the home, officers found a very large and sophisticated marijuana growing operation, which covered the nearly entire 450 square foot basement. Seized were 350 marijuana plants with an estimated street value between $500,000 and $700,000. Growing equipment was also confiscated from the home and is now being used as evidence in the case. Also confiscated, $5,000 in cash. One man was arrested and one man is suspected to be on the run. If caught, both face federal drug charges. They are Johnny A. Mausch, age 23, of Madison, and Zachary Jakes, age 18, of Middleton. Mr. Mausch resided at the Lake Street home. Mr. Jakes spent a good deal of time there, although he is listed as a Middleton resident. Johnny Mausch has been taken into custody and is currently located in the Dane County Jail. Zachary Jakes is still on the run. He is a white male, 6'1", and drives a 1996 Tahoe seen here. Jakes is also tattooed located on his left bicep. If you see Zachary Jakes, do not approach him. He is considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information, call 608-284-6800. You may stay anonymous and may be eligible for a cash reward.
Thanks, Blaine. Well, it's here. It's time for the 2013 Summer Frolic, Mount Horeb's kickoff to the summer. This year's dates are a bit different from last year, being June 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Ride tickets are now available at Encore Bank and Miller & Sons. Activities this year include a mud volleyball tournament, cornhole tournament, talent show, live entertainment, dog show, the Norse Run Walk, fireworks, parade, carnival rides, youth baseball, bingo, and a raffle with over $22,000 in prizes, and much, much more. Past years, lucky winners have received Harleys, tractors, and ATVs. However, there's no word yet on what is the 2013 grand prize. The annual Frolic Parade on Main Street starts at noon on the 9th. Festivities run from 5 to 10 p.m. on Thursday, 5 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. on Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 a.m. on Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Sunday, with a grand prize drawing at 7 p.m. Sunday. To sign up for any of the events listed, visit the Mount Horeb Chamber of Commerce or www.trollway.com. Don't miss this fabulous community event. Bring the whole family and join your friends. to help kick off the start of the summer.
It doesn't take much for our own Johnny Pickums to plunk down money at the Quick Trip in Mount Horeb for a chance at a $600 million multi-state Powerball jackpot. People are more important than money. I would just give it away to help people, Johnny told us in our exclusive interview. The jackpot, with a cash value of $450 million, marks the largest in Powerball history, surpassing a $5.87 million jackpot split by the winners in Arizona and Missouri in November. The largest lottery jackpot in the U.S. was $656 million in the Mega Millions game in March in 2012. This is split by 3 tickets sold in Illinois, Kansas, and Maryland. The mark will be smashed if no one wins the Powerball jackpot this time around. If there is no winner, the jackpot will be about $925 million for Wednesday's drawing, according to Jenny Kripe, the spokeswoman for Wisconsin Lottery. The Powerball game is played in 43 states, the District of Columbia, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. A single ticket costs $2, and the odds of winning the jackpot are 1 in 175 million. But before you start dreaming of that mansion in Barbados, allow us to pour a little icy bucket of mathematical reality over your head. You are not going to win the Powerball. You stand a better chance of walking onto the golf course and hitting 2 consecutive hole-in-ones than winning that jackpot. But anyway, good luck today and buy those tickets.
That's an interesting report there, Blaine.
Yeah, it really was. Thank you.
Well, now it's time for a new segment called Where's Glenn? This week, our very own Glenn Hook will be at a local landmark right here in Mount Horeb. His location will be revealed at the end of the broadcast tonight, and it's your job to figure out where he is. Now let's go over to Glenn for the first clue of where he possibly could be. Glenn, give me a hint. Where are you right now?
I'm not at a park or a restaurant, although there's food there. I am not on a boat or a plane or a train. I am on blacktop, and with that, we will be right back.
Are you bored sitting at home while all your friends take these extravagant spring break trips? Do you struggle from depression? Well, it seems like all your friends are out of town. This is the last day to get your name into the drawing for a great trip. Trips to places like Tahiti, the Galapagos Islands, and the Swiss Alps. All you have to do is leave a like and a funny comment on our Facebook page for your chance to win. I recently just got a makeover. I look very fine, finer than a groomed poodle. Although I may not be colorful, I still get the job done. Gentlemen?
Welcome back. Have you been wondering about the wacky weather? Well, so have we.
Well, I've been investigating, and here's what I found. Although it's nice out, the weather has not decided how it's going to fully treat us just yet. Some days hot, close to 80 degrees, and others breaking below the 40s. And what about all that rain we've had lately? But don't forget last summer, where we had little rain, as everybody's lawns and flowers withered away. The drought also had an impact on farmers' crops. According to statistics, most droughts last more than 1 year. This upcoming summer could be just as bad as the last. But all this rain tells us otherwise. There's no way to be certain until weather strikes. As warm weather nears arrival, so too does the possibility of severe weather. If severe weather is in the area, take shelter away from windows and stay in contact with News 4. Here are some of our monthly totals from May. We had 17 days over 75 degrees. Our monthly rain total was 7.5 inches. It rained on 13 days during May, 4 more than average. Most people's lawns this spring have had some healthy growing green grass, but definitely its share of dead spots too. You may need to patch up some of them. The best way to do so is get a native growing driftgrass seed. Mix it with the topsoil until it looks like the picture that most grass seed bags have on the back of them, to help you get the correct proportion of dirt to seed. A general rule of thumb to follow is grass seed needs about 1 inch of topsoil to grow. To help hold water better, you may want to lay peat moss or straw over the dirt and seed mixture. Now we are going to go to Jimmy, standing by with Jeff Hook, a police officer, to get an interview. Jimmy?
We're here with Chief Deputy Hook.
and he's here to talk to us today about the Frolic. Mr. Hook, with the upcoming Frolic, what are some things that kids should watch out for?
Well, there's really three things that people should watch out for during the time of the Frolic. First being traffic related. There are a lot of people driving around the community, a lot more than normal, and there are a lot of people that are walking around the community. And those two things pose a danger to each other in the sense that the cars are trying to watch out for more cars that are on the roads. They're trying to watch out for people that may be impaired, and they're not necessarily always attentive to the pedestrians that are walking out. And so the first is traffic related. The second would be drug and alcohol related. When you bring this many people into a community, there's a lot more exposure to drugs and alcohol, and all of the kids really need to be aware of who's offering them something and have the courage to say that they don't want to participate. And number three is into the community there comes a lot of people from outside of our community that are not normally here. Those people could be with the carnival, they could be just people coming to enjoy the festivities, but they pose a risk because you don't know who they are and you don't know what their motives are, and you really have to be aware of your surroundings and be aware of the people that are approaching you.
Yep. And going back to the drug and alcohol, if you're approached by someone that wants to offer you these substances, what's the best thing to do?
Best things to do is just to back away and get out of the situation right away, because the longer that you're in the situation, the more that you feel obligated to do something or to participate in either the alcohol or drugs. The easiest and the best solution is to back out right away. Just get out of the situation.
And then when you get out, is 911 the appropriate number to call then, or is there something else for those kind of like minor situations?
Well, it depends on what it is. If somebody's just walking along and they're, offering you alcohol or drugs, yeah, you should report it to 911. But just as a suspicious activity or somebody's trying to deal drugs, it's not an emergent matter where the police need to respond, red lights and siren, but definitely they should be made aware of the situation.
And finally, is there any ways that you can prevent these situations from happening? Is there any tips or tricks that you can give us to make sure that we don't get ourselves into these kind of situations?
Absolutely, you should be going to these events in groups. Never go by yourself. You're certainly more of a target if you go by yourself. Go with a group of friends so that it's easier to have the courage to say no if there's a group of people that all have the like mindset. And certainly if you go by yourself, you're more vulnerable.
Awesome. Well, I think these simple tips and tricks will help our youth stay safer at this up and coming Frolic. So thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
So
Good luck.
back to you.
Bored this summer? Well, in the Mount Horeb area, there are many festivals and events scheduled throughout the summer. Along with the Frolic in June comes the 7th annual Spring Art Tour on the 7th through the 9th. Only 6 days later, on June 15th, the Taste of Mount Horeb is held. Moving on to July comes many people's favorite event, the 42nd Annual Art Fair. That weekend, on July 20th through the 21st, is jam-packed with many events. As your summer nears the end, don't miss the Cajun Fest or the Chamber Golf Outing in August. For a complete list of all events, locations, and other information, check out the Mount Horeb Chamber of Commerce website.
Thanks, Joey. It's a Thursday, and you know what that means. Animal Spotlight. Today, we have a special animal joining us. Jojo was rescued only 2 weeks ago. He was cold and hungry when the loving people at the Iowa County Humane Society found him. Sarah said most animals are hostile when we first picked them up, but Jojo was so grateful to see us. Jojo is a breed that dates back to the early Germans, where they were used as hunting dogs. Unfortunately, Joey has been the victim of some abuse, making him a little bit more cautious around people. Along with being cautious around people, he is also nervous around big dogs, making the crowded scene of the Humane Society very scary. What would be better would be a loving home. He would probably do best in a home that is mellower and calm, with the family members that want to pet him all day long. If you would like to adopt Joey, or any other pet from the Humane Society, please feel free to call 555-2433. But trust me, just one look into his big dark eyes and you'll fall in love.
Every once in a while, I find myself in conversations with people when the topic of an indoor swim pool arises. Usually, I just sit and carry on with the conversation, but lately, the more I've thought about it, the better the idea seems. It's a great idea because there's so many uses for an indoor pool. It could provide anything from more classes being offered in our schools to a good workout area that people can come and use. If we had an indoor pool, schools could offer so many more classes. Firstly, the high school could offer a lifeguarding class that would not only give kids a good way to get a good, strong job, but also equip them with the necessary skills that they will be able to carry throughout the rest of their lives. Also, the schools could make swimming part of the gym routine, which would be really helpful to some of the weaker swimmers. Another reason that an indoor swim pool would be such a great idea is that it would give the high school an opportunity to have their own high school swim teams. Then we wouldn't have to co-op, and those poor swimmers wouldn't have to travel to Verona every day. Also, the girls' swim team is getting so big that it is going to be tough to continue the co-op and take everyone who wants to swim. Not only does high school swim team provide a good source of exercise, but also provides a swimmer with the ability to set goals and try to reach them through hard work and commitment, which is easily applied to life. What most people really want, though, is a good place that they can come and exercise, relax, or just hang out with friends and family, and have a recreational area. When people want to swim before school or work, they usually have to go into Verona or farther, and then it's just not worth it because people are busy and usually don't have the kind of time that would require. Also, people would be able to bring their kids to the pool and they could hold swim lessons, which would take the stress out of getting swim lessons done during the summer. And not only could kids take swim lessons here, but also play and be active, which is a great way to battle the ever-present childhood obesity that is always lurking around somewhere. Swimming is a great way to exercise for kids and adults too. With the exercise, high school swim team opportunities, a great recreational area, and an awesome way to provide more classes, you can easily see why having an indoor pool would be such a great idea.
What a great idea, Glenn. Joey, if we got an indoor pool, do you think you would use it?
Yeah, I think our school and our town would really benefit from it.
I agree. Now, on to a health story brought to you by Nate.
Health officials say 3 more Mount Horeb students have an active case of tuberculosis, in addition to the case confirmed last month. All 4 students are members of the same family or are family friends. Health official Pam Shaw says the town has 8 infectious cases, all within the same extended family. TB can be life-threatening if left untreated. Shaw says that 8 people with confirmed cases are receiving treatment. Tuberculosis can be spread through coughing, sneezing, or talking. About 24 students who share a classroom throughout the day with the first infected student were tested and found to be negative. Health officials tell the Mount Horeb Mail they're in the process of compiling a list of students to be tested who share 2 or more classes with the newly infected students. We'll be right back.
Have you ever wanted to go on vacation?
But never had the experience or the knowledge needed to go to a cool place?
Dude, try Glenn's Adventures.
Glenn could take you to Hawaii. Or even to the top of
Everest.
or maybe
Elk hunting. Oh, I see one now.
and if you pay the premium price.
You could go to Camelot. For Narnia! Music is just one of the many perks you have if you go on Glenn's Adventures. I'm Glenn. Call me, 555-3287.
to hear more of that sweet, sweet music.
And welcome back. Now it's time for Where's Glenn? Clue number 3. Joey?
This is a zoomed in picture of me. Look very closely to see if you know who I am. I'm not a daycare, but I do care for children. Jimmy did some coverage on the recent chess tournament, and we are going to head over to him for a report. Jimmy?
This weekend was the annual Wisconsin State Chess Tournament, and for the first time ever, it was held here in Mount Horeb. The tournament brought hundreds of the best 18 and under chess players to the Mount Horeb Public Library. They duked it out for the gold over a 2-day tournament. Hometown hopeful Frederick Hoffman started out good, winning all 3 games on Saturday. Because of this, he set himself up to make a good run on Sunday. With all of his friends and family watching, he took on Jin Chang in the first game of day 2. After a grueling hour, he was down and looked like it was the end of the road for Fritz. But he was able to get out of the game with a draw, keeping him alive. Finally, he was in the championship. It almost looked like Fritz was teaching a clinic. He never made a bad move and was crowned champion in little under an hour. Not only was it a great day for the Hoffman family, but for the community. The chess tournament brought in people from all over the state and exposed Mount Horeb to the chess community. With Fritz's overwhelming victory and the hospitality of the Mount Horeb people, we have been picked to hold the tournament in the upcoming year. Finally, our congrats go out to Frederick Hoffman. Great job and keep playing hard.
Thanks for that story, Jimmy, and a big congratulations goes out to Frederick Hoffman. Now, on a very light note, a local school received a surprise from the man in the big White House. It's not unusual for school children to write to their president or vice president, but one Wisconsin boy got an unexpected response. The 7-year-old second grader at Mount Horeb wrote a letter to President Barack Obama and other officials a few months ago with a simple idea for making the world safer. His teacher, Jenny Nick, says his letter suggested that if gunshot shots candy bullets, no one would get hurt. The student and the rest of the school got a surprise Monday when Obama's handwritten response arrived in the mail. In the note, the president says he agrees that candy bullets would make the country safer and much happier. The note concludes with, "People love chocolate. You are a good boy. Signed, Barack Obama." Now, over to Joey with a scam alert. Joey?
Thanks, Blaine. Now to a real threat in our money report. Target is warning customers of a new scamming email that appears to be an expensive order receipt from Target.com. There was a false email sent to a number of people this morning claiming to be from Target.com. This email looks like a confirmation of a purchase made on Target.com, but is actually a scam email attempting to gather information from the recipient. Again, this email is not from Target. It is important that recipients do not click on any links in the email or respond in any way. Authorities are investigating the source of the email and working with appropriate government groups. At least one version of the email misspells the company name as Target and shows an $11,000 receipt for a 75-inch projector screen. Target has received dozens of calls about the scam. If you get such an email and can't remember purchasing anything from Target, the first step should be to check for a mysterious transaction in your checking or credit card account. It's always possible someone really did steal your financial information. Make sure to alert the local authorities and contact your state attorney general's office, who will make sure your information is safe. Now on tonight's review series. Nate?
Thanks, Joey, and make sure to watch out for those scammers. Seen any good movies lately? Next time you head out to the theater with your buddies, check out the new Iron Man 3 movie. Iron Man came out as the top 3rd movie watched in the last month. Robert Downey Jr. stars as a world-famous, yet egotistical superhero, using his technology and brilliant mind to defeat an evil villain from killing innocent people. He embarks on an epic quest to find the bad guy, and even finds himself along the way. This action-packed movie is a must-see for friends and family, rated PG-13 however. Local Antonio Parr says, "This is a fantastic movie, one of my all-time favorites. You should definitely see this as soon as possible." Tony Stark returns in this last epic battle of good and evil, working to save his family and friends from destruction. Glenn, what did you discover in your book review?
Lately, I've been reading the book The Outcasts by John Flanagan.
Who has also wrote the famous Ranger's Apprentice series. The Outcasts is a book that I found rather entertaining. It's about a group of boys in Scandia who must complete a 3-month training period where they will work with their group of 6 to 10 boys and learn how to become a well-working unit and compete against the other brother bands. In each brother band, a leader always arises, and in the brother band of the Herons, which is made up of all the bullied boys in town, young Hal rises up past the criticism to lead his brother band to victory in this quick read of a book. I found the book to be entertaining, like I said, but I found it a bit too happy, because although the boys don't win all the challenges, you know what the outcome will be, and there are no twists and turns that make you sit on the edge of your seat. But, in a way, that was a good thing also. It led to a relaxed read that you didn't feel the need to rush through. For the most part, I found this book highly entertaining, with its nicely developed characters that really got in touch with your emotions, and had you rooting for the young Heron brother band until the very end. Overall, I think this was a great book that deserves a solid 4 out of 5 stars.
Thanks, Glenn. The boys' varsity golf team has had an excellent season so far, winning 4 of their 5 meets. The last invitational in Lodi ended them in 3rd place, behind Wanakee and Fort Atkinson. Varsity coaches are planning on bringing up sophomore Joey Peterson to play after his stunning performance last week with 4 birdies. They'll travel again this weekend to Platteville, where they hope to win another. The Mount Horeb Vikings track team is holding a solid 5 wins in their season and hoping to get another tomorrow at Sauk Prairie. Coach McIntyre has high hopes and says he's looking forward to seeing his varsity and JV runners' times improve after a hard week of training. Coming out facing 3 tough teams at the beginning of the season, the Vikings girls soccer team has some makeup to do with losses against Oregon, DeForest, and Verona. Running 2-3 in the season, they're hoping to get back into their groove and keep going strong. All are planning on making it back to the state tournament after 2nd place overall last year, losing to Catholic Memorial in the championship game. Sophomore captain Lily Iverson has big hopes for the team and is working on getting her team back on track for another go at the goal.
The 3rd annual fishing tournament has come around yet again this year, and over the past weekend there have been plenty of people out trying to win the first place trophy and $100 prize that comes with winning. The tournament is a largemouth bass tournament, which looks for the biggest catch and is held at Stewart. The largest catch this year was pulled out by Marcel Japot and was a 20-inch bass. He's a seasoned fisherman who likes to spend his days down at Stewart fishing for whatever bites. He uses plenty of different tackle, but he has one special spot that he really likes to fish. He wouldn't tell us where that place was, of course. The 2nd place finisher was Bob Fuller, who had an 18.5-incher. His fish won him $50 on the 2nd place trophy. The honorable mentions go out to Stephen Brown, Mary Smith, and John Holliday. That was only the adult section. There's also a K-8 tournament that was added this year. The winner of that was 12-year-old Nick Reisner with an 16-incher. 2nd place was Allie Fordson, who pulled out a beautiful 15-incher. They both received a prize of their choice. All participants received a t-shirt that was printed out at odds and ends. The Fishing Council of Mount Horeb warmly thanks all anglers, and hopefully they had a fun time. The baseball team has been on quite a roll lately, winning their last 4 games. After a slow start to the season, the baseball team has really picked up their game. The first 4 games of the season were not really great. They went 1-3 and looked like a downward spiral of a season. But after the 3rd loss, they knew they needed to pick it up. So they trained harder than ever. Coach Finley pushed them to really focus down and improve their game. Also, a badly needed leadership role was filled by senior Kale Pustina and junior Mason Kittleson. Kale has been batting a 42%, which is one of the best batting averages that has been around Mount Horeb in a long time. And junior Mason Kittleson has been pitching like an ace, striking out roughly 9 batters per game.
So now the team is 14-6 and looking to win their next 3 games. Those games include Baraboo, Wanakee, and Reedsburg. Now I did some reporting on the upcoming Ironman race. Here's the story. Swim, 2.4 miles. Bike, 144 miles. Run, 26.2 miles. As most of you know, this is what makes up an Ironman course. Participants must complete this in a day to finish the race. Our local athletes, Joe and Linda Dixon, are training for it again this year. The first Ironman that this couple completed was last year. Previously, they had not done any sort of athletic competitions since high school. They decided to train and participate in the Ironman because they wanted to lead a healthier lifestyle. This year, they are hoping to make it to the World Championships at Hawaii. Qualifying for the National Championships was a dream Joe had since he was in high school, but it got put off due to the time his work consumed. Linda decided to train with her husband and is doing it because she just wanted to lead a healthier lifestyle. Either attitude is a great way to get through the extreme challenge of completing an Ironman. Another thing that helps athletes complete the Ironman is the support of the crowd. So, if on September 8th you have nothing to do, go out and cheer on your local participants. They greatly appreciate it. Now, over to Nate for the final Where's Glenn clip.
I am located on Academy Street. I am part of the Mount Horeb Historical Society. I am made of bricks, lots of bricks. Educating children is my #1 goal. Do you know where I am?
Do you have any idea where Glenn is?
No, Blaine, I have no idea. Do you?
No, I don't. But I think it is one of the last days for our contest, Jimmy.
Yeah, we have the results from our internet sweepstakes. Joyce Thronson has won a trip to the Swiss Alps. Here, she will partake in a week-long trip where she will have ample opportunities to explore the little shops and quaint towns in the foothills. Also, she will go heli skiing and be able to relax in the luxurious spa at the Zermatt Resort. Her funny comment that won her this amazing trip was,
Leave Wisconsin? Ain't nobody got time for that. As we round out our newscast tonight, do we have any final stories?
Well, I have one, Blaine. A 30-year-old man in Madison, Wisconsin found a way to get his 15 minutes of fame. Jeffrey Drew Wilch could legally change his name in October of 2011 to Bezau Dudu Zoppity Bop Bop Bop. That makes a great headline in itself, but Zoppity Bop 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 was arrested in early January after neighbors complained of excessive drug use. Police recorded quite a few charges, including carrying a concealed weapon, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of marijuana, and probation violations. When Zoppity Bop 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 was taken into custody, he told police he would get even with them.
Jimmy, do you have another story for us?
Yeah, on another note, a strong storm wrecked the squirrel enclosure of the Vilas Zoo in Madison this past July, resulting in the escape of nearly 30 squirrels. Attempts to recover the animals were quite successful. At one account, 38 squirrels had been recaptured. Zoo officials have offered 3 different explanations for this discrepancy. 1, they miscounted how many squirrels had escaped. 2, the squirrels reproduced while on the loose. Or 3, being that some wild squirrels may have been picked up by mistake. The zoo implants microchips in their animals, so all recovered squirrels will eventually be scanned. Finally, Glenn, where were you this whole time?
I've been at the PC.
Congrats to all of you who guessed that correctly. And tomorrow, we will be having the Where's Glenn finale, where Glenn will be in a local place all day so you can try and actually find him.
And make sure to tune in next week when we are giving away a new TV.
Well, what a great opportunity. Thanks for watching tonight. Good night.
If you would like to adopt JoJo or any other pet from the Humane Society, please feel free to call 555-2433. But
That's too fast.
Go somewhere in between.
go, Nate.
Sure they doesn't happen.
who has also wrote the famous Rangers of
Oh, I'm in the middle of the frame.
He's stupid. You told me to go!
No, I did not. I said shh.
Shh, that means go, Glenn.
Okay, come on.
Merlin, an Eagle Scout and lifeguard. Oh god.
Are you bored sitting at home while all your friends? Oh my god.
Bop 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 was arrested in early January after neighbors complained of excessive drug use. Glenn,
What the heck?
turned off on me. Swim 2.4 miles. Bike 140.
Glenn said the wrong number.
in Fort Atkinson. Varsity coaches are planning a... Alright.
I'm sorry. They were laughing. That wasn't even me this time. Okay, I promise.
Yes.
Wait, I've been reading the book The Outcast.
Marijuana and probation violations. And Zoppity Bop Bop...
Nate, come on. It's so hard to say.
Alright, let's just keep going. Just keep going so I can get a shot in mine.
In that thunderstorm. His name is Ralph Longwood, a 14-year-old boy from nearby Blue Mountain.
Well, I didn't even do anything.
I know, but I said Longwood and I thought of Glenn smiling again. It's a fame. Jeffrey Drew Wiltsch had legally changed his name in October 2011 to Bezow Doo-Doo.
This is a real story.
What? Charges, including carrying a concealed weapon, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of marijuana, and probation violation.
Glenn is trying not to laugh the entire time.
What made you laugh?
Oh no. As we round out our newscast tonight, do we have any final stories?
I do. A 30-year-old man in Wisconsin. Madison, Wisconsin.
I screwed it up too, I'm sorry.
Alright, that was the best. Any stories? I do!
I was like, I missed that.
I'm short on time. Put me in.
I'm